Hey everybody, it's your boy Will. You know the drill. I ain't even got to go through it. But it's crunch time, people. It is crunch time. It is crunch time. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you've seen the polls when you got home from taking your kids to soccer practice or football practice, or you're just getting home from work, you understand that McCain's in trouble. Obama is on the precipice of being president because of two factors: the economy and Bush. See, in order for Obama to rise, the country must fall. And I'm telling you people, it is crunch time. McCain supporters, we need to get out there and we need to talk to everyone we know, whether they are independent, Reagan Democrat, or even an Obama worshiper. Because I would like you to get an Obama worshiper in front of someone who's undecided and debate them. Because the greatest political commercial a candidate can have is you, neighbor to neighbor, letting people know firsthand, right there in their face, in their living rooms, in the den, or in the basement while you're watching the game, how dangerous and risky an Obama presidency is. You have to convince them about the Bill Ayers connection. Do not let the Obama worshippers and the Obamanites in the press get away with excusing his poor judgment. Bill Ayers is an unrepentant terrorist who bombed the Capitol building, he bombed the Pentagon, and he bombed New York Police headquarters. He said he does not wish any kind of remorse about it, and he wished he could do more. He said this right after 9/11, and even if he was referring to his book or whatever, that was very insensitive at the least, and idiotic and moronish at the most. So excusing Obama because he was 8 years old when this happened is stupid as well, because that's what the Obamaites and the Obama bots and the Obama worshippers want you to say. They're going to say that Obama's only 8 years old when all these atrocities were happening, so why are you holding him accountable for his association with Bill Ayers? That is the most idiotic and stupid thing and stupid rebuttal to an argument I have ever heard. Are you serious? He was 8 years old? I don't care if he was 8 years old when it happened. He was 30-something when he started talking to the guy. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be associated with somebody who bombed Washington buildings. I wouldn't be associated with somebody like that. I mean, and that goes to show you a question of character about Obama. Question of character. Do you honestly believe that when he met Bill Ayers, he didn't know who this guy was? This guy is a bigwig in Chicago politics. Everybody knew who he was. And Obama approached him because he was a bigwig. So Obama was more than aware that Bill Ayers and his wife were former weather people who waged a domestic war against this country. You cannot be, so if he says he didn't know, either he's super stupid and naive, or I'm thinking power hungry and corrupt, because he didn't care who gave him the money, who gave him the campaign fundraiser in their home to kick off his election to the state senate. He didn't care. So that goes to show you poor judgment at the least, or power hungry corruption at the most. So do not let the Obamanites get away with that. Tell that story to everybody you know. Anybody on the fence, even Obama worshippers, can't come back with anything when you approach them with that fact. They can't. Talk about Reverend Wright. Reverend Wright, he sat in those pews in that church for 20 years. 20 years. And you mean to tell me, with Obama's prestige and his stature in the community, that the pastor never invited him over for dinner, where they probably went in the basement watching a game, talking politics, and he didn't hear Reverend Wright say one nasty thing about this country or white people, or anything radical? You mean in 20 years they never had one outing to the mall to pick up some shaving cream or something? You mean to tell me they didn't have that kind of association, but yet he baptized your children and he married you to your loving wife, and you're trying to tell me you don't know anything about this man's politics and what he truly thinks about this country? You must think I'm a effing fool, man. You must think I'm stupid. You must think the American people are stupid, but apparently some are, because they're going to vote for you. So you got to get people to understand those connections. You can see, it's about judgment. He's trying to say that he has the judgment to lead this country. Well, he doesn't, people. So you attack on the judgment. You get people to understand about his poor judgment, his lack of any morals, because anybody who has any morals would not be associated with a guy who tried to kill people and wage a war against this country. And then you talk about things that matter, like kitchen table economics. Obama is going to introduce over $800 billion in new additional spending. That's new programs. We've already had an economic crisis where we had to get $700 billion, and we borrowed most of that from China to get us out of the mess. And he wants to put another $800 billion on top of it. And when he was asked in a debate would he cut any programs, he didn't mention one thing. So he's a true ultra-liberal. He's going to go through with those programs even if we have to deficit spend and it bankrupts the country. He'll just borrow it from China. Talk about how he wants to raise taxes on payroll tax. He's done it before. If you are a single person, he's raised taxes on you if you made $42,000 or more. Like single people don't matter. Like we're some kind of invisible people. Like our lives and our money isn't ours, and it doesn't matter. So he has raised taxes on single people. I'm single. He raised taxes on me. That's BS. So understand, people, talk to them about those kitchen table issues. Talk about how he's going to raise the death tax and capital gains, and he's going to raise taxes on small businesses. I don't care if it's not millions of businesses. It's hundreds of thousands of businesses that employ millions of people. We cannot afford this man. He is dangerous. He is risky. He is not the man that he said he is. He's not going to come in and wave a magic wand. He's going to give us Jimmy Carter-esque type programs that have failed before. We know the end of this movie, people. So you got to get out there, McCain supporters, and be that political campaign that our candidate needs. You got to talk to everyone you know. And I'm going to continue to do these videos. I'm going to continue to expose Obama for the joke that he really is, the empty suit that he is, and I'm going to expose him for the dangerous, risky person that he is, who has poor judgment and is inexperienced. We do not need another person in the White House like him. We ignored George W. Bush's inexperience. We ignored his associations. Just because somebody's associations are radical to the left don't make them any less dangerous than the associations that George W. Bush had. And I know it's hard for you to make that connection, some of you, because you were reacting to my if you elect Obama, you re-elect Bush video. You couldn't wrap your head around that concept. I've been doing politics for over 14 to 15 years. I've worked on 14 campaigns either as a volunteer or as a campaign advisor. I know politics, and I know an empty suit piece of BS when I see one. And I'm guaranteeing you, people, you mark my words. If Obama gets elected, he will not bring the troops home. He will raise your taxes. You will see your quality of life go down the tubes.